All right. Hey everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another stream. And yeah, don't worry, I didn't forget. Whew. So glad it's a Friday for me. At last. Yeah. So welcome back to another stream where we're gonna continue off yeah. We're gonna continue off where I left off last weekend before I ended the stream. So yeah. And Movie Game 1198, if you're watching this, I'll send in the link in just a second. Just yeah. Yeah. All right. So, um let me prepare some things real quick. So, yeah. How's it going, everyone? Once again, how's it going? So, yep, at last. Yeah. Let's give let's wait for him for a second. And also today, I know now before now there's something I want to tell you guys is that Movie Game Over 98 is doing a stream on December 13th, so you should probably go check that out. I'll just to remind you all, so you can join Movie Game Over 98's channel as well, which that's why I'm giving him a shout out. And I'm pretty sure you guys should have seen my post like before I made this stream, before like I made a post about the stream that I have right now. I think you guys should have had a look at it, and yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did rank all the Thomas seasons, but I'm not including the Tugs season because, you know, it's a spin off series, but I'm pretty sure it's seen in the UK, so let me send it to you guys. Well, I don't know why there's this glitch or something like that, so I'll make sure I send it. There we go. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Moving on 98. I knew. Yeah, yeah. And also, you can maybe you can like, I don't know, maybe you can like show me your Ringo Starr US narration impressions for episodes that Ringo didn't narrate, like Wrong Road, for example. Well, he did narrate it, but only in the UK. Like narrated most of the season 2 episodes, but not all. At least some of them did. Well, some of them didn't get redubbed though. So yeah. So uh all right. Should be joining second now. Um let's see if I can present. All right, there we go. So, if I can find it, where is that Google Doc? Oh shoot. Better make sure I'm careful because okay, he hasn't joined yet. Oh, wait, you saw the link in the chat or something, you said? Or is it the same glitch? Okay, alright, well, the link is in the chat, well, the link is up here in the screen just in case if you need it, so, yeah. Let me get to the Google Docs because I created a Google Doc page. Come on. Come on. Thank you. All right. And we're doing this one here. Is Movie Game Lover 98 going to join? Okay. Just give him a second. So the last time we left off with the season 11 episode Percy and the baggage, or Percy and the left luggage in the UK. Now we move on to just wait for him. We just need to wait for him. Right, still hasn't joined yet. All right. Well, oh yeah, I did see Jake Martin's latest video about what happened. So apparently, his iPad stopped working for good. Ugh, it's so bad, so annoying to be honest. If you ask me, I mean, I really do feel bad. So yeah, oh come on. So yeah, I hadn't thought of any. Is he coming? Oh, here he is. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Thomas and PBS fan.
Yeah, how's it going? Yeah.
Good.
Oh, did
I'm
you
glad
get the
we
link
started.
from the live chat?
Yeah, I noticed it and I quickly entered it into the browser on my phone.
Oh, okay. I guess the bug is fixed. So yeah.
Yep.
So today we're going to continue on where we left off.
Yes, we left off with season 11 on Percy and the
Percy and the
Baggage. I'm
Baggage.
aiming from season 11, the last fully model episode of Percy's the main spotlight. But now we're going on to hybrid season 12 and full CGI because I consider season 12 kind of CGI, but even though
They still use models, pretty much.
but only like for the majority of the season, but sometimes they will use their original faces again. But yes, let's start off with Percy and the Bandstand from season 12, which is
Yeah,
the third to
and-
last episode. Yeah, because season 12 was the first of 5 seasons to have only 20 episodes as opposed to the usual 26. Even
Yeah.
though season 10 of the model era has 28 episodes.
Yeah. And you want to hear my opinion on season 12?
What's your opinion on it?
To be honest, I think I find it to be mediocre because because there were some terrible episodes I thought were terrible, like Saved You and Push Me Pull You. And I don't know any other terrible episodes besides those two. Oh, Henry Gets It Wrong is another one. But
Did
you
you
know,
know? Oh,
huh?
did you know that Savik Wiggle hates Push Me Pull You? Not because of Skarloey being out of character, but he says the one crash scene used to scare him.
The one crashing?
Like when Skarloey plunged into Percival Pond, that crash scene used to scare him.
Yeah, like he was in his original model scale when he crashed.
Yeah, it showed his model surprised face when he plunged into the pond, but then he.
Yeah. So yeah.
But
so
yeah, let's talk about Percy and the Bandstand, the
yeah.
only season 12 episode where Percy is the spotlight.
And interestingly, here's something interesting about the episode. I think this is like one of the very few times in which you'll be able to see one of the pack members, Jack being one of them, and I believe Alfie appears in this one.
Yes, one of the dump trucks, either Max or Monty appears. Like, well, even though it's easy to tell which one's Max and which one's Monty, because Monty's 16 and Max is 15.
The age?
Yeah, even though in the spin-off series, like the pilot episodes, Jack jumps in and a friend in need, we only saw Max, number 15.
Oh, okay.
Even though they're the same identical twins, Max and Monty, even though they just put different numbers to tell which one is who.
Yeah. But you know, the only reason I think season 12 is mediocre because although there were some episodes I thought were terrible, but to be honest, the one thing I do like is the fact that they do bring back one of the classic characters. And at least one of them do have a role. So I guess I'm a little satisfied.
Yeah, of course, like, yes, Percy and the Bandstand, where this one, Sir Tom Hat wants Percy to bring Lady Hat to a special surprise, but he doesn't want to spoil it for her. And like, I like how Michael Brandon says, you shouldn't tell her where you're taking her. Understand? And then Percy. This is the only time we get to see Percy in his pack scale model, but with his CGI face. Kind of like, yes, they never show one scene in season 12 in any of these episodes where Thomas is in his original model face, but and he's in his gauge 3.5. I think it's his 3.5 model when he's with the narrow gauge engines.
Oh yeah, and
there's not an instance in like the Man in the Hills, Push Me Pull You, Duncan in the Hot Air Balloon where they showed one scene with Thomas with his original model face, but he's in his gauge 3.5 model. Even though in Mountain Marvel, Peter Sam mentions Thomas.
Yeah, but Thomas doesn't appear at all. And I know Thomas also doesn't appear in Rosie's Carnival special.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I guess.
And also about Percy in the Bandstand, this is the only time we see Miss Jenny in CGI.
Yeah. So, what's your opinion on season 12?
It's all right, but like I said, there's 3 episodes I told you I already dislike in that season.
Yeah. Isn't Thomas on the Billboard one of them?
Yes, despite Toss the Billboard is the first episode of the season and Best Friends is the last. The one I hate between Gordon takes a shortcut and Thomas puts the brakes on is The Man in the Hills.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure The Man in the Hills is also terrible.
Because Thomas thinks he's trying to find the man in the hills, but then he realized that was just a. And you know how the way that even though there's one thing I do find cool in that episode, The Man in the Hills, like how Scarlo and Renes are positioned the same way as Thomas and the Big Bang from season 11, but they're just different. You know how they're placed the same way as Thomas the Big Bang and The Man in the Hills?
Oh yeah, I think so. I didn't watch The Man in the Hills though.
Yeah, you don't have the DVD Percy in the Bandstand yet. All right, you're probably not going to get the Adventure Pack, but I can show you. I can tell you I have the Adventure Pack, which has all of season 12 in the US on DVD.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I heard that there were 2 season 12 episodes that got reused on the Birthday Express 2011 DVD. I can't remember them.
Yes, it reuses The Man in the Hills, but even though I don't like that episode, and the Party Surprise.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah.
So yes, Percy in the Bandstand will include. It's the only one where Percy's the spotlight of season 12, and the way he says is "all aboard." Yeah. And also like, and also like how Lady Hat is trying, and when Percy is scared to use his "do as I say" whistle, but he realized he didn't want Lady Hat to be late, and like. Yes, Thomas. This is like only the one instance where Thomas does speak in the episode. Percy in the Bandstand.
Yeah. So
yeah, I noticed we're during other Percy episodes you forgot to add when we were starting off with, but we were doing halfway through Best of Percy last stream.
Yeah, I know. So moving on, we got Percy's Parcel from season 13.
Yeah, it's like this one. I know, like James A. Williams. I know he says like. He doesn't like this. He doesn't understand like the part like when the Fat Controller leaves, like because he told Thomas to do a job and then he thought he had a job for Percy but didn't. But then for some reason he comes back a few seconds later. And you know what's also annoying? No, it's not annoying, but something that bothers me in this episode. Mavis tells Percy to please show her something special once Sir Tomat gives him the special job. And like Percy, and then he tries to show Mavis the special really quickly. And I don't know why Mavis now says she's busy, but then. She told Percy right at the start earlier, like she told Percy to please show her the cool special once Sir Tomat gave him the job.
Yeah.
I think that's one instance where Rocky does speak with his full CGI voice actor in a full CGI episode of the Nitrogen one. He did speak in Hero of the Rails towards the end when Hero pulled him.
And another thing is that after season 12, Harvey is completely pulled out. Well, until season 17.
Just for a while, at least. But I know these 4 seasons, at least, it's just him absent being wild. But then season 17, he does come back. At least they use Rocky because I think Hit was like, we should keep using Rocky because he's much more useful than than Harvey. Excuse me, because Rocky can lift. He's like the breakdown train in a way.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So yes, we'll include Percy's Parcel, and yes, it includes the portrait of Sir Topham-Hatt's mother. I love how Dowager Hat kisses her son, Sir Topham Hatt.
Yeah.
And Sir Topham Hatt blemishes chuckles.
Oh yeah. And And what else? Yeah. So next up we got Being Percy.
My favorite.
Yeah, one of the better season 14 episodes, without a doubt.
Even though, yes, Lego Lover, I told some viewers, Lego Lover does not like being Percy. I don't know why. It's cool. Percy tries to be like Gordon so everyone can take every notice of him. That's cool because, Percy wants people and other engines and characters to take notice of him. So that's why he says, out of my way. Yeah, out of my way, mail coming through. And like one instance totally didn't even move out of Percy's way. And also like these ones, like this other YouTuber, I think it's a Samuel person, he all reacts to say every time Gordon says out of my way express coming through, but they weren't even in the way. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that was my only issue. That's my tiny little problem with the episode. Why does Gordon say out of my way express coming through, but they're not in the way? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it makes sense for him to say to Salty because Salty was in the way. He was kind of in Gordon's way. Even like leading towards the crash towards the very end. And like this is I think this is the second time Alicia Body speaks, but I think this is her last time she ever will appear in an episode. Alicia Body.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like her Italian one, she says, "Hello, Percy. I'm waiting for Gordon to take me to Napbird." And then when she's scared there's gonna be a crash, and she hides in Percy's cab, and she goes, "Whoa!" And then Gordon gasps, "Whoa!" And then, this one, Percy asks James, "Can you please pull Rocky?" Because he's not strong enough to pull Rocky. Almost similar to Thomas the Runaway Car, but it's different.
Yeah.
Because at least Percy tries to act nicely and just acts like himself. In a way, yes. So yes, Being Percy, my favorite episode of season 14, will include on the list.
Percy's new friends. I know some people think it's terrible, but to be honest...
But it's cool. It's kind of like Thomas's Day Off from season 9, because, even though in Thomas's Day Off, Sir Tomat tells Thomas he can have a day off despite he had to help Dennis, because even though it was his day off. But this one, it's kind of like Thomas's Day Off, because, Percy wanted to have a day off today. And, like, Percy wants to be... Like, he wants to be friends with those wild animals, even though he needs to learn he has to be quiet, because those animals are smaller than him.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, Percy's new friends. I find it nice, despite because the moral is learn to be quiet.
Yeah, and I think when it aired on PBS, like, did you know that the intro on later PBS airings, like, they showed the Thomas and Friends intro early?
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it happens on later airings if you're watching it from seasons 13 to 16.
Okay, that's nice.
And I think it also happens on DVD releases, like Creaky Cranky, for example. Should probably have a look at them.
Oh, which one? Are you talking about the intro or something?
The intro, yeah. They show the logo early. Like, they show all the credits early in the intro.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that, how in some DVD releases of this full CGI era, the Nitrogen ones, I think starting every Brenner era release, they show the steam wheeshing effect to fade to the intro. But on some Nitrogen ones, they just fade and then it shows the theme song.
Yeah. And then we got 2 season 16 episodes.
Oh, yes. But we got to do them in the best order. So Percy and the Monster of Brendam is the first one. Because it goes after Express coming through in season 16.
Yeah. I know people don't like Percy and the Monster of Brendam. I know why some people didn't like it. But to be honest, I think I find this to be mediocre.
Okay.
I mean, I do like the fact that Thomas doesn't speak in the episode because, what did I say before? Just because it's Thomas and Friends doesn't mean Thomas has to appear in every single episode. Oh,
yeah, not like all the All Engines Go reboot crap. Sorry for saying that word. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can.
Yeah, not unlike that All Engines Go reboot crap, where Thomas is the main star of every single episode instead of letting someone else be the spotlight.
Yeah.
But at least this one, they don't even mention Thomas's name, but he appears, but he does not speak.
Yeah, like how on earth do you expect Thomas to not appear at all? Well, I mean, maybe a cameo wouldn't be that much of a big deal.
Yeah, they don't. The narrator doesn't say Thomas's name, but he's there, but he doesn't say anything, and they don't mention his name. So yes, we'll include Percy the Monster Run. And like someone they think Henry, Edward, and Toby are misfits. Oh my god.
So, what's your opinion on the episode? I guess bad.
Fine, I guess, because they think Cranky is the monster of Brendam.
Okay, I mean,
But I like the Foggy Tale in that episode. That's cool.
yeah, but we get into the great episode probably.
Yeah, that episode is on Wild Water Rescue, Percy and the Monster of Brendam, along with
Percy?
Bust My Buff.
Huh?
Percy and the Monster of Brendam in this next episode we're going to see, along with Bust My Buffers, which you did for the Best of Gordon one, and Thomas the Sounds of Sodor, that they're on the Wild Water Rescue DVD, as well as Happy Birthday, Sir.
Yeah, is Percy the Calliope also on Wild Water Rescue?
Yes, it's after Thomas the Sounds of Sodor, because
Yeah.
it goes after Thomas the Sounds of Sodor. So
Yeah.
yeah, Percy the Calliope, my favorite episode of season 16, where Percy tries to never give up. He wants to save that Calliope from being scrapped. Like when he tried to do coal from the hopper, and then he tried to whoosh water, and then he tried to push it up Gordon's Hill. But then his final idea when he thinks wheeshing whistles, he wheeshed steam from his cylinder, and it worked.
Yeah. And this is another episode Thomas doesn't also speak, fun fact.
And they don't mention his name either.
Yeah.
But also, I also got to tell you this, Michael Brandon was awesome at narrating this episode.
Yeah.
Also, I actually like the scene where Percy asks Sir Tomat, "May we help you, sir?" And Sir Tomat says, "No, thank you, Percy." And they say, they mentioned the Sir Tomat's helpers, those two gentlemen, they're his helpers.
Yeah. And I think this is the last time Michael Brandon voices Diesel, right?
Yes. So I'm pretty sure this is the last episode of season 16 where Michael Brandon is the narrator as well as Diesel. And leading up to the other remaining 10, we don't have to deal with it ever again.
Yeah.
Well, even though I know that I'm going to say this, Invictor says yes, Diesel is in one scene, but at least they don't do Michael Brandon's voice as him, but Michael Brandon's just the narrator. That's
I don't even know how they did that, but I still think Brandon's Diesel voice is the best. Well, not as good as Carlin's, okay, but
I mean, Baldwin's is kind of okay in my opinion for Diesel.
Yeah. How would Baldwin sound like if he voiced Diesel in season 5, even though he didn't appear at all?
Kind of as devious as Carlin, in my opinion. But yeah, Percy the Calliope, how, and also how can I don't think I can do Percy's UK voice in season 16's Percy the Calliope, and Keith Wickham is the Fat Controller's voice.
Oh yeah.
When Percy asks, "Can we help you, sir?" and the Fat Controller says, "No, thank you, Percy." The Fat Controller's helpers tried hard to get the car started. But also when Sir Tomat says, "Percy, what is making that sound?" "It's the Calliope, sir. We were told to take it to the smelters, but I got it to work." And well done, Percy. You have saved a piece of Sodor's history. Take it to the steamworks. I'm sure Victor will have it cleaned up in no time. But yes, I know we skipped Percy the Snowman, and
because not only is it Christmas related, but Thomas is the main character, I believe.
I think it is, even though the title's called Percy the Snowman. But yeah, let's get to season 17. There's two episodes with Percy being the spotlight of season 17, or is there more than that?
Let me check. So let me go through them again. So I think that's it.
Oh, there's these two, and they're both close to each other, and they're on the PBS airing. I'm saying PBS Kids airing 110 Spooky Charms.
Yeah.
These two go in chronological order, but at least the other ones, unfortunately, they're going to go in order. But the ones from the Spills and Thrills era, they're in order of broadcast order in kind of a way. But this one, the Phantom Express, even though I know we're not, it's kind of spooky, but it's not. It takes place during Halloween.
Yeah, I think it aired in October of 2014 or something,
or 2013, I should say, because they say the first 10 aired in June of 2013, and then the rest aired in September of 2013. But then the Christmas ones aired in December of 2013. But yeah, this one, the Phantom Express, where I don't know why Sir Tomat's punishing James at the end, even though he says to James, "You will take Percy's mail for a month." But even though I would have liked if Sir Tom had told Percy to please, even though they literally finished their jobs, Percy and Stephen, that's why Sir Tom had told James he caused confusion delay. He's gonna have to take Percy's mail for a month. And then James bravely says, "I'm not scared." And he says, "Wait for me." And yes, let's go to Percy's Lucky Day, which is another one of my favorite episodes of season 17. Well, one of them with Percy being the spotlight. This one's my favorite with Percy being the spotlight of season 17. The one with Thomas is the Thomas Way.
Yeah. So
with this one, Bill and Ben returning in full CGI, but we don't get a glimpse of them till the episode after that, which is Bill or Ben. But this one, we get to see them kind of nicely. And yes, the one actor who does their voices amazingly. Even though for some reason in Blubba seasons 20 through 24, Matt Wilkinson voices one of the twins. Even though I like... What's the actor's name? I think it's Jonathan Brobman, someone?
I'm pretty sure in the Blubba era...
It's Matt Wilkinson and someone else.
It was like Hunt the Car. It was like from the season 22 finale, Hunt the Car. Which I think it's probably the best season 22 episode in my opinion.
But, well, this one, in this era, Bill and Ben are voiced by Jonathan someone.
Let me check.
Because I'm pretty sure it's a... yeah.
So it's Ramis Hardiker. It's Ramis Hardiker as Bill and Matt Wilkinson as Ben.
But in this era...
from the US as well, right?
I'm pretty sure yes, but in this season, this episode, and along with its next one, Bill or Ben, it's Jonathan someone as Bill and Ben.
Yeah.
This one is like, oh, that's not bad luck, is it, Ben? Which one? Ben? Quite right, Bill. That's carelessness. And this is the first instance where Rosie gets the lamp on her next to her funnel. And after the narrator said, at Marin Station, Sir Topham Hatt had some strong words for Bill and Ben. Your
carelessness. Huh?
Your careless driving. What does he say? I think he says, your careless work this morning has caused confusion and delay. To make sure that no more crates fall off your cars, one of you is going to have to push from the back. You can be the front engine, Bill. No, I think it says, you can be the back engine, Bill. It was your carelessness that... What? I'm not going at the back. Okay. And then Percy doesn't realize he lost his Lucky Charm because Stephen realizes it was still on the platform. Because the reason why, because his wheels were still sticky. Because even though he tried to wash it off, because there were sticky pumpkins on the lines. Who seriously left a trail of pumpkin crates on the track? Who's the writer of Percy's Lucky Day? I think it's written by Andrew Brenner, or is it Becky someone?
Let me see. So it's
Davey Moore. Who?
It's Davey Moore.
Davey Moore?
Uh-huh.
It's seriously, Davey Moore, the writer of Being Percy? You'd really have to write this idea where Percy runs into another bad accident? Well, even though this is focused on Percy, let's just not worry about it. I still like this episode nonetheless. And I also like Percy's having a good luck time, but Bill and Ben are not. Also, can you tell the difference between Keith Wickham and Carrie Shale, Sir Tom Hatt? Which one do you think Sir Tom Hatt sides more brightly? Carrie Shale or Keith Wickham?
Probably Keith Wickham the best.
I like Carrie Shale where he goes, it was your fault, Bill. You're the one who came off the rails. You pushed. Oh. Yes, you did. No, we didn't. That line is funny.
Yeah, and were you asking me which Sir Topham Hatt voice I think is the best?
Even starting from the Nitrogen era, leading up to the Adventure Begins, where they still have to use Keith Wickham in the UK.
Yeah, I prefer Keith Wickham because I think he sounds a lot more strict.
Well, this one he can sometimes be stern, sometimes with the Carrie Shale voice. At least this one, Gordon's not in the episode, because what if Gordon was in the episode, and Carrie Shale is still the voice of Sir Tom Hatt? But at least Gordon's not in this episode, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. So anyways,
I think there's two season 18 episodes. Well, there's other season 18 episodes where Percy is the lead, but I think this is the one regular episode we have to include because for some reason, I think these two are... Well, even though this one's a winter episode, long lost friend, but they say it's almost Christmas in the episode. There's no Christmas things in Long Lost Friend, but let's talk about Missing Gator first, which does reference the events from Tale of the Brave.
Missing Gator?
Yes, the one on the Tales on the Rails DVD along with Duck and the Slip Coaches, which I think Duck and the Slip Coaches, if we get to the best of Duck, we got to get to the best of Toby soon. But yeah, let's just talk
I don't
about
know
Missing
whether
Gator.
to do the best of Duck or not, to be honest.
We could do a best of Emily, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Well, after we finish best of Toby, but we got to finish best of Percy because we're almost done. Then we can start Toby's.
Yeah.
But yes, Missing Gator
we can include.
with references to Tale of the Brave, but it does reference the scenes that happened in Tale of the Brave. And also, like, when Percy's too scared to go in that mine again, even though that's the first instance where Thomas went into that same mine when he had to get Stephen out of there, at least the bridge was not all wobbly again. That rickety old wobbly track that was put next to the old mine where Stephen ran into,
Uh-huh.
at least it wasn't wobbling again. Just imagine if it did wobble and Percy was in trouble and needed to be rescued by Rocky. But at least it didn't wobble. And, like, Percy thinks maybe he'll see Gator again one of these days. Because, Toad's Bright Idea is kind of a reference. It's almost taking place during the events of Tale of the Brave in a way, but we're not including that episode.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Should we include Long Lost Friend or no?
I would say yes, but to be honest, we should save that for maybe the holidays.
But even though they mention, I'll say this in Long Lost Friend since I talked about Missing Gator, like Thomas tells Percy, tells Percy, guess who's back in time for Christmas? And Percy asks, is it Santa Claus? Gator, my old friend, really? Yes, I told him. But what are you going to deliver to the quarry, Percy? But at least they just mentioned it's just in time. It's going to be almost before Christmas. Long Lost Friend. You don't have the DVD, the Christmas Engines either, but I do.
Yeah. I don't have any of the date later DVD releases after Splish Splash Splosh or anything like that.
Well, even though there is 2 model series Thomas releases by Lionsgate that came out during the CGI series, Greatest Stories and Engine Friends, but yeah. So I think Missing Gator will be the only season 18 episode we can include, even though Long Lost Friend mentions it will be Christmas soon, even though it's wintertime in Long Lost Friend.
Yeah, but I still think we should.
So we just skip Long Lost Friend and go straight to season 19 with Perceiving the Spotlight of 19?
I think it's Wild War. Oh, no. There's at least 2 of them.
Oh, yes. So we'll do, I think it's very important, Sheep first of season 19, and then it's Wild Water Rescue.
Yeah, I think it's the season finale.
No, Goodbye Sir Topham Hatt is supposed to be the season finale of season 19. Because it says on the Wikipedia, because Taylor Kennedy put in his top order of season 19, he put Goodbye Sir Topham Hatt as the finale, and Wild Water Rescue is the second to last. Even though he actually placed Toss the Babysitter after Diesel's Ghostly Christmas Part 1 and Part 2, and it goes Rocky Rescue after that, and then The Other Side of the Mountain, and then No Help at All, he put Wild Water Rescue, then Goodbye Sir Topham Hatt, because it says on the Wikipedia, Goodbye Sir Topham Hatt is the last episode of season 19.
Yeah, and believe it or not, then Wild Water Rescue, believe it or not, was one of the episodes never to air on PBS for some reason.
Yeah, I think it might have aired on Nick Jr. in
it did in 2018.
Like, wow, that's even like way too late, but like a few months before Blubber Movie released onto Nick Jr. But yeah, very important. Sheep is one of them. Like, I do like Percy's slightly smiling face. It just gets me every time. Like,
and I gotta admit, this episode is an improvement over Wild War. Very important. Sheep isn't a huge improvement, without a doubt.
Over Wonky Whistle, you could say. That's what Trevor Davis says.
That's what I meant.
That's what he says. Trevor Davis also says that too. This episode is definitely a better version of Wonky Whistle because at least Percy wasn't making any he didn't realize the van had a hole in the back because he backed up to the livestock car too hard. I was like,
yeah, I guess you could say he was in like a hurry or something.
And like, this is the only time Percy makes his cross face with his Christopher Ragland. Like, he was just upset because Gordon wouldn't let him go ahead of him because there was a long wait at the water tower, and this is the only time Percy makes his cross face with his Christopher Ragland voice.
Uh-huh.
Well, at least like in some of those episodes he does he doesn't do it that much. But yes, Very Important Sheep is the only episode he does that. But yes. But of course, like another one is like Thomas picks up all the sheep that Percy left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Annie and Clarabelle say, "What on earth are we going to do with it?" And then Annie says, "Wait a moment, I can't carry a lamb." But we can't just. And Annie says, "All right, I suppose it's just a baby." And like all Thomas's passengers had to go into Clarabelle because all the sheep had to be put into Annie for some reason. Because they say, like they reference in Thomas the Conductor, Clarabelle has to have other sections for the baggage and the conductor.
Mm-hmm.
All the passengers had to squeeze into Clarabelle, and there's not enough room. And then Thomas got all the sheep, and because Thomas had to collect all the sheep that Percy left behind. But yes, Wild Water Rescue. Well, this will be the last episode on this Best of Percy release of season 19, despite the second to last.
Yeah. So.
And after we get to this, I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to go straight to Best of Toby because I don't know if there's season 20 or 21 episodes for Percy's The Spotlight.
Yeah. To be honest, if Bob never existed, I would have included Panicky Percy.
The only episode of season 23 where Percy's The Spotlight, but let's just talk about Wild Water Rescue really quick. Also, like, this is another instance where Carrie Shell is the voice of Diesel now. Actually, I was wrong. Wild Water Rescue is not the first one to have Carrie Shell voicing Diesel. There's actually a scene in Henry Spots Trouble where Diesel uses his Carrie Shell voice.
Yeah.
So Henry Spots Trouble and this are one of them is season 19, along with Goodbye Sir Tom Hat as well. So, this one for the Best of Percy release, yes. This is another one instance where Diesel has his Carrie Shell voice.
Yeah.
And Diesel tricked him to go think he had to pick up the mayor at the quarry, and Percy gets startled by the crows, and he went into a watery. What was that part of the quarry? But it was flooded.
An old abandoned quarry.
Yes, and then he got stuck in a flooded water.
Yeah.
And then Diesel tried to get him out, but then he got stuck. Because the reasons why, because his generator got wet.
Yeah. I think it explode. There were sparks on it, exploded almost.
He says, "Hey, what's going on?" And then Percy says, "Maybe your generator got wet, Diesel."
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you know what? If this aired on PBS Kids, this should pair up with Rocky Rescue.
Well, yes. Because
and the PBS airing would be called what?
Something Rescues?
I guess, yeah.
So yes, Wild Water Rescue is the only season. The other season 9 episode will include with Very Important Sheep is Percy's The Spotlight. Because I'm pretty sure all the rest they don't have a character being the Spotlight.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think we'll just take a look through season 20 really quick to see if anyone's the Spotlight of season 20.
I already checked and
nobody. So I guess we're only.
Episodes. I don't think any of the episodes have it.
I think even though Percy is in Three Steam Engines Gruff along with Thomas and Toby, but I don't think that counts. Unless you count Three Steam Engines Gruff from season 20.
No, but I don't think they were included, so yeah.
So Three Steam Engines Gruff unfortunately is not going to be included.
Yeah. And let me see season 21.
Yeah, we'll start with Springtime for Diesel. That's a no. That's a no. And
yeah, I don't think we're going to do it, so I guess
unfortunately, we're going to have to go up to season 19 for Percy. But luckily for Toby, we'll get to season 21 because there's an episode that has him as the lead in season 21.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to start with his debut, of course, in season 1, Toby the Tram Engine, or aka Toby and the Stout Gentleman in the UK.
Yeah. And you know what I said before last time I ended my stream?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said in one of the comments, by the way, that you should maybe do your impressions for how Ringo Starr would redub the episodes that he didn't narrate for the US.
Actually, there's one instance where, I know the one scene in Birdie's Chase, he says, "Oh dear, what will the matter be? Johnny so long and never you mind about Johnny. about Johnny, laughed the driver. Just you climb on the cab and look for Thomas. It's the same if it was just redubbed in the US, but it's the same as the UK version. Can you see him? No, replied the fireman. There's Bertie Buss in a tearing hurry. No need to bother with him, though. Likely he's on a coach tour or something. I don't think there's any instance where there's different compared to the US and UK of Bertie's chase with Ringo Starr.
Like if
Ringo
you had
Starr,
to re-narrate?
yeah, I don't think there's any instance where they changed from Sir Fat Controller to Sir Topham Hatt in the US or UK version of Bertie's chase. So that's maybe a reason why they didn't Ringo Starr and redub Bertie's chase in the US. Because I think
Yeah,
all the
but that was
dialogue.
before Carlin even narrated anyways.
But yes,
Anyways,
let's go
so
straight
Toby
to
the Train mentioned we could include.
Yes, that's Toby's introduction, but we don't go to it's episode after that. Thomas breaks the rules because it's focusing on Thomas.
Yeah.
And
so,
so we're gonna have to do just Toby's debut of season. The only one of season 1 is Toby's debut, and any of them. Let me see if any season 2 episodes where Toby's the lead.
I'm already looking. I don't think there is any.
Unfortunately, yes, we're gonna have to go straight to season 3's Time for Trouble.
So yeah, I think there's 3 episodes in which Toby is the main character.
So first one is Time for Trouble, where I think this one I can tell from Angelus or Carlin. I think Angelus, he says his narration lines way too late in the revised version, but George Carlin does the perfect way. So he's saying, "Your parts are worn, Toby.
Oh
so
yeah,
you must go
in
to
the
the guard."
redubbed version. I did notice in the redubbed version, Angelus's narration goes a little out of sync when, like, when he talks to Toby, when Toby and Sir Topham Hatt talk or something.
But in George Carlin, when it goes just fine. It literally goes, "Your parts are worn, Toby, so you must go to the works to be mended. Can I take Henrietta, sir?" "No. What would the passengers do without her?" And also, like when the new signalman speaks to Toby's driver, I think another one says, "I can't tell this one from George Carlin or Michelangelo saying we must clear the line for James with the express. You'll have to get more water at the next station."
Yeah. So what I'm saying is so I think if I had to do a revised version or something, like for example, I think it would go like, "Your parts are," like Angelus's redubbed narration goes like, "Your parts are worn, Toby, so you must go to the works to be mended," said Sir Topham Hatt.
Son of a control.
Can I take Henrietta, sir?" asked Toby. No, replied the Fat Controller. "What would they do without her?"
Well, but in George Carlin, he says, "What would the passengers do without her?" Because Henrietta needs passengers. But of course, actually, there's another season 3 episode where Toby is the spotlight. Season 3, it's Toby's tightrope, which goes after Mavis's introduction.
Should we do Mavis or no?
No, I think between those two, I think either Mavis or Toby's focused on more. But we can do Toby's tightrope, which goes after Mavis's debut, even though I think Toby focuses on more in the episode, but even though towards the very end it's focused more on Mavis.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll include Toby's tightrope. And so, there's 2 season 3. I think that's the season 3 episodes anymore.
Let me see. After that, I think
that's it.
Yeah, for Thomas and Percy's Bound Adventure, that doesn't count because it's more focused on Thomas and Percy. Yeah. We're not including that episode. But yeah, let's go see if there's any season 4 episodes.
Bullseyes
could work, even though it focuses on Toby kind of more, but Daisy's more the focus. But
yeah, so I guess we can include that.
But for season 5, we'll do Toby and the Flood and Toby's Discovery.
What about Special Attraction? Have you?
I think it does focus on Toby kind of more in the episode, even though it does focus on Percy for a few scenes, but then it goes back to him. It goes back to Toby for a little bit. Yeah,
so I guess we can include Special Attraction, but then we get on to Toby and the Flood.
Which I know Sadvik also hates that episode, because I don't know why he says Toby acts like a worried... I don't know what he says, like, worried, like, coward, I think? Sorry. I don't know why I said that, but whatever.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't even know why Toby stopped in the middle of this episode is great, but my only small complaint is, why would Toby even stop in the middle of the bridge?
I guess, like, after the narrative, like, because disaster was beginning to struck. because I guess it was too late because the dam was starting to break up, or the great. I just call it the big wall. I should say. Every time I say that D word, it's just I'm saying people's gonna keep saying me watch my language, but I'm just saying it's a great big wall that's stopping the water from overflowing, and it started to collapse already. That's why Toby didn't have time to move off the bridge in time. But I gotta admit, the action scene with Harold.
Yes, he was a little slow, to be honest.
But this one where Harold does chase him down, like after like when the narrator says they passed a sign that made them shudder, beware the waterfall. If we go for that waterfall, we're doomed.
Yeah. So yeah, Toby in the flood will include Toby's discovery.
Yes, and it's the only one where you get to see Bertram at the end, but they just nickname him as just the Old Warrior.
Yeah.
Because also, like, yes, you can find this on both Spills and Chills and Thomas's Halloween Adventures, which I know you don't have either of those.
Yeah.
But I know, I think like this one I could say like after like when the suddenly a strange shrieking noise comes, like I can't tell if Baldwin or Angelus can do them apart. Like Alec Baldwin goes, quite suddenly he heard a strange wheezing sound. It's the ghost! He wailed. What ghost, his drivers? It's the Old Warrior. He's come to hunt me down. Don't be so daft. We'll go investigate. I can't tell I can't even do the Angelus one. He goes, quite suddenly, he heard a strange wheezing sound. No, he heard a strange wheezing sound. Yeah. But yeah, Toby's discovery, yes, will include on the list.
Toby had a little lamb. I definitely did remember watching that on the Tom's the Snowy Surprise. Fun fact. I do actually have it, but I think I have it, but like it has the Holiday Express DVD disc though.
Like it's the case for Snowy Surprise, but it has the Ultimate Christmas disc inside?
No, it has the Holiday Express.
Oh. Like some reason it has the wrong disc inside, which is kind of sad.
No, I didn't order. It's probably like that or something.
But with Toby Yellow Lamb, this one we have to explain all three narrators because, well, Alec Baldwin and Michael Brand do this in the U.S., but Michael Angelos does this in the U.K.
But he also redubbed it in 2005 during the season 9 production.
Under the PBS Kids airing of season 9, Lost. I think it's Lost and Found. Yeah, I think it's Lost and Found with the episodes Thomas's New Trucks and Dunked in the Old Mine.
Oh yeah. We're going to get to the interesting part, by the way. You know that farmer?
Well, for some reason, Alec Baldwin and Michael Angelos call him... he's called Farmer McCall. On the description of Thomas Snowy Surprise, even though it says Alec Baldwin, George Carlin, the narrators, they say Will Duck be able to get to say Farmer McCall's lambs, even though in the Alec Baldwin dub, they just call him as simply a farmer. Well, I watched the Michael Angelos dub of Toby Hello, and I think they just call him just Farmer too. But in Michael Brandon US version, they call him Farmer McCall.
Wait. What? The redubbed version?
The redub with Michael Brandon on PBS Kids, but I do call him Farmer McCall, but for some reason Alec Baldwin just calls him Farmer. Like,
are we talking about Michael Angelos' redubbed narration or the original one?
The original. But I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to do this side by side with Michael Brandon revised version for both the US and the version and the original US with Alec Baldwin. First instance when Toby comes into Callan Station, he says, "The farmer's lambs are stranded on the hillside," cried Toby. "We got to rescue them." "So we shall," said Sir. "I'll send Duck right away. This is a job for an engine with a snowplow." And Michael Brandon says, "Farmer McCall's lambs are stranded on the hillside," cried Toby. "We gotta rescue them." "So we shall," said Sir Tom. "I'll send Duck right away. This is a job for an engine with a snowplow." But yeah, also like, this one part that used to creep me out as a kid at Toby Hello Lamb when Toby tries to go over that rickety old bridge.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I definitely didn't have memories on that episode, I remember.
Like this one where Toby tried to go across the rickety old bridge. This one close-up scene, I'll tell you, you could see Toby's coupling rods. One instance where you could see his coupling rods up close. I was like, huh. I thought Toby didn't have coupling rods, but for some reason he does. It's kind of equivalent of his Hornby model. He does have side rods, but in his Bachmann and other merchandise, he doesn't have side rods.
Yeah. And let me see if I can... Oh, here we go. Found it. Okay. Okay, there's the re-narration. So let me see if he says Farmer McCool. Let me
Yeah, muted because we don't get copyrighted. You
yeah.
know what? I'll just mute myself.
So it turns out in the UK redub, he actually does say Farmer McCool. Oops. Make
So you
sure.
said the revised UK version, just not the revised US one with Michael Brandon.
Yeah, not only the revised US version has, not only does Brandon say my Farmer McCool, but also in the UK redubbed version, Michael Angelis also says Farmer McCool as well.
Okay, but in the original US with Alec Baldwin, in the original with UK version with Michael
Oh,
Angelis, they just call him a farmer. That's just because of Mike and Jr.'s music. Even
oh,
though,
well, we'll see later. Hunter Arthur C. Wiggle. Yeah,
sorry, you were just talking. You were applying to Hunter's things. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, Toby Hello
Anyways,
Lamb we will include.
yeah, and then
Even though,
there's a
oh
uh,
yeah,
next up is Toby and the Windmill. I almost said Toby's Windmill, but I think it's
well,
called.
they call it Toby's Windmill at the end of the episode, but in this we call it Toby and the Windmill, even though they call it Toby's Windmill at the end of the episode. So and also this is the only episode where Toby's the spotlight, and this is the only time he gets to speak in season 7.
Yeah,
So yes, I think also like when I did watch a full version of the Mike and Jr. music with Michael Brandon doing the narration, but after the accident occurred in like, if I can't sell my flour, I'll have to shut down the windmill. I'm sorry, sighed Toby. Harvey arrived to put the trucks back onto the track.
wait. Why did Michael Brandon say trucks?
What? Oh yeah, I don't know why he said Harvey. He could have just said Harvey arrived to put the cars back onto the track.
Yeah,
It's like, but Toby was sad. What will the miller do if he shuts down his windmill? It's a shame, said his driver, but we must hurry, Toby. There's a storm coming. And this is the first instance where, well, no, I think I'm saying like the classic series is his own thing, but like I said, Henry and the Wishing Tree is the first time Michael Brandon really says, you are causing confusion and delay. This one he says, this storm has caused confusion and delay.
heck,
Remove this tree at once. And
heck.
you know what's also funny in the goof? When Toby explains out, please, sir, the face of his surprise face of his driver is still shown, even though it's a wide shot of his driver. It's still shown. Like
Yeah.
that's like they used the stock footage from the Fogman.
Yeah. Oh, and can you list the stock footage that's used on Toby and the Windmill?
There's one from Rusty Helps Peter Sam at the beginning, aka Trucks. A deleted scene from Time for Trouble. So that's 2.
Oh, and there's one stock footage that's used on I think there was one stock footage that was used from Special Attraction where
Yes,
Toby
and
was
then
coming to
yet when the narrator says Toby had to collect flower cars to take to the market, but it's different from the George Carlin Special Attraction episode. But yeah. And the fourth and final one from the Fogman.
You know, I wonder how the classic season stock footage looked like on PBS airings, to be honest.
Well, I know there's one instance in one Hit Era episode they did use some stock footage from the classic series, kind of. You know how in Spick and Span they used some stock footage from A Baddie for Harold?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and there he says, the signals were checked. But it's different from like when Alec Baldwin says, and the engineer continued to work on the signal.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Thomas and the Firework Display also has stock footage. Well,
just one.
Just one, yeah.
Just from Thomas the Rumors. It's also used at the beginning of Percy Gets It Right for some reason.
Yeah. Anyway, so
let's get to season.
We can include.
Yes, and now into season 8, You Can Do It, Toby. Which
Definitely have memories watching it.
Even though I know some people say Percy should have been the main character of this episode instead of Toby, but I like how it's focused on Toby. Because like this one, they all say, you can do it, Toby.
Yeah.
Because you know how Toby was the only one that could help push Gordon up the hill. But what if Thomas did it instead of Toby? Because you know Thomas even though Thomas wouldn't have been strong enough to push Gordon up the hill, because Edward's used to doing that, but because Edward was told to be near the docks because Sir Tom had told him to work at the docks, and he wanted Toby to work at his place at Wellsworth Yard. Toby was the only option available.
Yeah.
But then he tried again, and he eventually got it. And then Percy cheered out, "You can do it, Toby! Go on!" cried Percy. Toby, huh? And of course, he finally did it, and Gordon now respects Toby, even though they should have respected each other back in the classic series, but this time they just retried it again. But yeah, I do have it on It's Great to Be an Engine DVD, as well as I might probably get the VHS once I have a VCR DVD combo recorder.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I did remember, I definitely did have memories watching that episode.
Yeah, it's also paired with the episode Halloween, along with the episode Trusty Rusty from season 7.
On PBS airings and Nick Jr. 2 airings.
Nick Jr. 2 in the UK, even though it's just called Nick Jr. in the UK.
I think it's called Nick Jr. 2. I don't know. Nick Jr.
I mean,
2?
Well, no, I think it's just called Nick Jr. Well, I didn't know such a thing as a Nick Jr. 2 channel exists.
Let me see. I think it does exist.
I mean, we have a Nick Jr. channel in the US.
Hold on. I do actually have UK channels on my TV, surprisingly.
Oh my god, you did? You do?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I was just
Yeah.
seeing you search
Yeah,
up
it's
as a
because
Nick Jr. 2.
I'm not kidding. I actually had those. Yeah, let me see if I can find Nick Jr. 2. Please load. Please load.
I know you.
Please load. Oh man, don't freeze.
Oh.
Yeah, see,
there's
Nick Jr. 2 does exist actually.
Well, I mean, that's the old style Nick Jr. logo, but they just put a number 2 underneath. But I know with the generic logo we have today, I know it's kind of like with the traditional Nickelodeon logo we have today. They just spell it out Nick Jr. 2.
Yeah, I definitely did remember when I was little.
Yeah, that's cool. But yes, you can do Toby. We'll include on the list.
Mostly in 2012.
Okay.
In 2012. So yeah, Toby feels left out next. I don't know which episode was. I don't know which one I think Toby started to act out of character. I would say maybe season 8 or 9.
But at least this one, he tries to prove his character, and you can do Toby. But this one, he acts out of character for some reason. I don't know if he does, but I watched Toby Feels Left Out under that DVD milkshake model so many times, and I couldn't even finish this part as a kid. Kind of like I did with Keeping Up with James. I thought there was a time I was going to get really mad at Toby, but this one, at least he was not so strict. Like the Michael Brandon way, he goes, "Why have you been running away from me all day?" But this one he goes, "Why have you been running away from me all day?" said the fat controller.
Yeah. I think
Just imagine if Alec Baldwin
is not a good episode in my opinion, to be honest.
But just imagine if Alec Baldwin did redub this episode, but he did make an actual laugh when he laughed. Sir Topham Hatt laughed. Ha 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 ha! Toby, you may be old, but you're far too useful to be put in the museum. I was trying to tell you to take some tourists around the museum, Toby. I've been trying to tell you that all day. Toby smiled. He felt very silly. But yeah, of course, compared to Michael Brandon or Michael Angelis with this one.
Oh, and you know as well, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Emily Knows Best or something? Because I definitely did remember watching it, and believe it or not, Toby was actually in character for once.
Well, this one, he speaks severely to Emily, thinking her idea of the queen is silly.
Like at the end of the episode,
that angry face with him too close to the screen is almost reference to his horrid Laurie face when he says "Oodle." So this one he says, "You have to be clever to be a queen," he said wisely, "and know the right thing to do." But yes, and of course, like we get to season. Actually, we forgot to. Did we include Toby's new shed? But that was on Best of Thomas because Thomas is more focused in that episode.
I think we did, but I think we should do Toby's new shed.
No, well we should. Well, we already did Toby's new shed. I think. Well, even though Thomas is more focused in that episode, I think we should leave it to Thomas's release. So for Toby's Afternoon Off will be the only season 10 episodes. Toby's the spotlight.
Yeah. Toby's Afternoon Off. Yeah, we should include that.
Like, oh yeah, this one actually does go before It's Good to Be Gordon because you know how Toby realizes what's wrong with Henry? And Henry says, I broke down. So Mavis brought me my special coal. Thomas took my passengers. And Salty brought me a new piston rod. Even though the new piston rod could have made Henry feel better and still make him puff, oh yeah, this is where before It's Good to Be Gordon, Henry references that error, even though he's not supposed to have that anymore.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how it could have worked out or something for It's Good to Be Gordon. Like, although I like the episode, but the only problem is the continuity, like Henry needing special coal when he doesn't anymore.
Yeah. Like, this is like the episode before that. Henry tells me when he broke down that Mavis had to bring it to him.
And this isn't the only time.
Yeah.
This isn't the only time this happened. I believe this also happened in season. Well, this was mentioned in Hero of the Rails, where Henry needed special coal.
Yeah, like when Thomas's friends go to see Hero, Michael Brandon says the wrong thing. When Henry visits him, he says cared that Henry had that special coal, but they should have said what cared when Henry had to take special coal.
Yeah, and I don't know what's one thing Henry. Is there anything besides special coal that Henry takes besides?
No, I think that's the only thing I know.
Yeah, like if. Let me think. Maybe there would be no coal there or something.
Probably not. But this one, Toby's Afternoon Off, like, what can you do to help Henry? But then Henry's gasped, you won't get in time to the farm to see the animals. But then Toby realized he wants to help his friend instead of trying to have an afternoon off. Like, and this one, Toby tries to pull the heavy passenger cars. And for some reason, like, he did manage to pull Henry's heavy cars to Knapford. But for some reason in the Green Controller, he struggles to pull Gordon's Express.
Well, that was before, all right?
Because, you know, like, with this one, I'll say this from the Green Controller if you don't mind. Like, when Toby says, I'm only a steam tram. The Express is too heavy for me to pull. And this one, he tries to pull Henry's heavy passenger cars to Knapford, and he succeeded.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's look at Toby's triumph where this is where Toby acts like a worried wimp throughout the entire episode, but then he stops worrying. Because he's never taken a special passenger like Alicia Body before.
Yeah, and interestingly, despite Toby being the main character, he only had 2 lines in the episode.
Like, because Michael Brandon was saying the narration way too much in this episode. Like, this one he says, this one he says, I've never taken a special passenger before, he puffed. And then Tom says, you take passengers all the time, tooted Thomas. And then he says, but not very special ones. I'm worried I'll make a mistake. And but this one, and then when Toby does go along his journey without worrying anymore, when Alicia Body sings to tell the cows to shoo, and then Toby joins in ringing his bell. At least this is the second to last season where Toby does ring his bell, but this is the last full model season. Toby's Triumph of Season 11.
And then we got Toby's Special Surprise. I think we also include Tram Trouble on Best of Thomas.
Because Thomas is the more focused on that one instead of Toby. Even though Toby's in the episode along with Toby's new shed.
Yeah.
But we have the ones where have Toby's the spotlight, so unfortunately we have to go to Toby's Special Surprise. Because this one also on the Percy in the Bandstand released Toby's Special Surprise. Even though that's the first episode and Percy in the Bandstand is last, even though I would have liked if Percy in the Bandstand was first and then put Toby's Special Surprise second.
Yeah.
But yeah, like also like that episode marks Whiff's second appearance. Like when he says, "Hello, Toby. Why are you looking at old tin cans?" Toby felt silly. Like this one where Toby ran out of coal when he on the siding with the rusted old metal, and then he had to get the workmen to do something to help them come to their rescue. Like I told you before, I don't know why this scene with Sir Tomac getting on board Whiff counts as him being cross when he notices the commotion and he comes to see what's the commotion. He says, "Toby, what are you doing here?" That doesn't count as him being cross. He's just worried what's all that racket.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He should have included. This one YouTuber. He should have included just the scenes from Toss the Billboard and Rosie's Carnival special from the Sir Tomac Cross compilation. This one should have been admitted because Sir Tomac's not really cross because he's just worried what's all the commotion and he wonders what Toby's doing here. He says, "But Toby, you are very special." And then Sir Tomac notices the cool surprise. "Toby, you have found a sign for the old Great Waterton tram shed." Hinting something we would have seen if Great Waterton didn't go away after this season. Yeah, this season, the Great Discovery, were the only ones to have Great Waterton. I would have liked if Great Waterton appeared in full CGI. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why they could have done that. I mean, it would have been awesome if they did that, but unfortunately, that never happened.
But yeah, these episodes Toby references the events in Emily's New Route and Henry and the Flagpole and Thomas finding Great Waterton in The Great Discovery. Just 2 episodes and 1 movie. And they've made the seals in Emily's thing in full CGI nicer than the ones in Emily's New Route. Because in Emily's New Route, the seals were all black, but in the CGI recreation, they have like white and black spots. Like their eyes are black, but their mouths are white. At least the Flagpole and Thomas finding Great Waterton were almost the same. When Toby dreams about them. But yeah, Toby's new whistle of season 13 will include.
Yeah.
Because Toby had to use a steam whistle because his old bell was rusted, and they said, like, Michael Brandon does a great how Toby's bell, but Toby's bell sounds different in this season. It's like starting with Hero of the Rails onwards, they changed Toby's bell after season 12. I don't know why, because I guess they couldn't. Like it goes the ting-a-ling-a-ling of his old bell.
Yeah, and speaking of which, did you know that Toby had a whistle in season 4? Like his whistle, he had Percy's low-pitched whistle.
Oh yeah, like when he and Percy were blowing whistles. Like actually at the end of Special Attraction when Toby says, "Oh, just smiles and blow whistles." Like when they
I think his whistle is Percy's low-pitched whistle.
Just like Emily's whistle for some reason goes back to using Henry's in Hero of the Rails onwards, or maybe season 13 onwards, I don't know. Even though she has Edward's low-pitched whistle.
What are you talking about?
Emily's whistle in Calling All Engines to season 12 is a lower-pitched version of Edward's whistle.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
But for some reason, in 2 episodes of season 9, she uses Henry's whistle for some reason. But all the rest of season 9
as well. Speaking of which, speaking of alternate whistles, Thomas for some reason has Edward's whistle, even though I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be his alternate whistle.
Well, in some of season 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of Poor Glory of season 5, Thomas actually blows Edward's whistle.
Yeah, even though that's supposed to be his alternate whistle.
Yeah.
But I don't consider it as a goof, though.
Yeah, but also in Toby's new whistle, like when Sir Tomac gets seriously mad at Toby because I still don't know how this line. Yeah, also like when Keith Wickham and Sir Tom Hack yell at Carrie Shale or Keith Wickham shouting out, "Oh no," and after Toby says, "And Gordon is coming towards it," and Carrie Shale goes, "Oh no," and Keith Wickham says, "Oh no."
Yeah.
But Toby realizes, "Don't worry."
Toby's new whistle.
Yeah, Toby's new whistle we got, yeah.
And then we got Toby in the Whistling Woods. I think Toby's character in that episode is worse.
Yeah, because he just keeps realizing he keeps getting scared of these strange sounds because he should have just looked to see what's making that strange sound.
Yeah, yeah. And what are other Toby episodes we got?
I think we got Toby and Bash from season 15. But I think let's see if there's any other season 14 episodes where Toby's the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see that. Toby and Bash will include.
Yeah, that's.
No, I don't think there is. Let me see.
Toby in the Whistling Woods.
No, I think that's it. You're looking at
Toby's...
the wiki?
Yeah. I know you're looking at the wiki.
And yeah, I think that's it for season 14 and 15.
Oh yeah, season 15 we gotta do Toby and Bash. With this one, Toby tries to finish Bash's sentences, but then Toby needs to listen to what Bash is really trying to tell him. He wants to go home. But then Toby tells Bash to follow him, that they're going to Misty Island, and they say that's home. And also this at least Toby is thinking, yes, this is the first time he goes to Misty Island. Not like another episode we're going to see later where unfortunately Toby is going to have to, says he thinks it's a scary place now, even though he went there. Despite oh, hold on. I don't think there's any season 16 episodes, normal episodes where Toby's the lead role in season 16.
Well, Toby is in the episode The Christmas Tree Express, but that's holiday related.
But yeah, let's see from the first 19 to Race to the Rescue to Happy Birthday, Sir.
You mean season 16?
Let me look.
Don't think there is. And I checked season 17, and I don't think none of them have. Oh yeah. Season 18. Oh, Signals Crossed. I almost forgot about that.
Well, that's one, yeah.
Yeah, Signals Crossed we can include. I almost completely forgotten about that episode.
This one, James,
season 18 is probably my favorite of the CGI series.
Yeah, but some people say that Toby's character, they didn't think Signals Crossed is a good episode for Toby, because even though he's been through Knapford Junction so many times, and he's scared of it, that doesn't make any sense. I would have liked if Percy was the lead in that episode as well. Kind of like I said, he should have been the main lead and You Can Do It Toby, Percy, instead of Toby.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that should have worked out a lot better.
And you know how James was being so off? He was being so idiotic in that episode. Because he told Toby, James was telling Toby to please get a move on, but Toby refused to move because he was trying to tell James that the signal was not turning green. And I thought both of them were going to get in trouble, but luckily it was James who got in trouble. Because he should have known better than to just wait a second because there was something wrong with the signal.
Oh, sorry. I must have muted by accident. Sorry.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. But yeah, what if Sir Tomat did tell off both Toby and James, but luckily he told off, it was just James who got in trouble because he should have known better than to please be patient.
Yeah.
Because Toby didn't even puff through because the signal was stuck. And then one of Sir Tomat's helpers whispered into Sir Tomat's ear saying that the signal is broken. And at least they tried to fix the signal, and then a man waves a flag to let Toby proceed through with the green flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, the truth about Toby, this is a similar one where Toby rounds out a call, just like in Toby's Special Surprise from season 12. But this one, they keep spreading rumors thinking Toby's going to be scrapped.
Yeah. I noticed that one.
Yeah, under the DVD Whale of a Tale as well. Even though I don't know why, it would have been better if Salty got in trouble because he was the one who told off that rumor.
Well, okay, Thomas was the one who actually found out, okay?
Well, even though Salty told Thomas, well, that be it. But then Thomas says, no, Salty, Toby's far too useful to be scrapped. Even though Toby keeps rattling around so much and his side plates and cow catchers are making weird noises.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Sir Top Matt did say it at the right time. Confusion and delay. He's like, now, whoever spread this rumor that Toby was going to be scrapped caused a lot of confusion and even some delays.
Yeah, and probably even some delay.
Yeah, mostly confusion. Okay, like
But yeah, and of course Toby's new friend. I think that's Philip's third appearance in this series.
yeah, we'll include Toby's new friend. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, it is got Toby's name in the title, so I guess we'll do it because Toby tries to say he could try to be friends with Philip. So yes, this is Philip's third appearance, but this is Toby's spotlight in season 20.
yeah.
Look at this. We're actually getting close to the last episode of Toby being the spotlight. Like I said,
Casey
3 Steam
Hannah?
Engines. Yes, the last one where Toby's the spotlight. And look at this. We're actually at the same numbers as like we are doing just seasons 1 through 21 in a way because there were no
yeah.
seasons. Look at this. We're at 21 episodes already with Toby's the spotlight. It's kind of going from season 1 to 21.
Oh, and number 3 and 4, by the way. Look, did you see?
Look at that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yes, and like this one, Toby's new friend, like Toby eventually becomes friends with Philip.
Yeah.
And like this one, Hasty Hannah, they mentioned that she's Henrietta's sister, but they're almost the same. But the way you can tell that which one's Hannah, which one's Henrietta.
Hannah's yellow.
Hannah's yellow, and the face is different. And Henrietta is brown or orange.
Yeah.
But they're Lucy Montgomery does an amazing blast at Hannah's voice, just like she does amazing at Lexi's voice in Journey Beyond Solar. Lucy Montgomery. But,
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're getting to the 8th member of the Steam team, so we'll do Duck another time if you don't mind. So we'll just go straight to Emily if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. We can do Emily, but I don't know if we can do Duck.
I mean, like Duck's debut was Duck Takes Charge, so I guess Duck is kind of like the spotlight, yeah.
Yeah, but
let's just do Emily.
He didn't appear as much.
But yeah, let's just go straight to the 8 Steam team members. We'll just do Emily next. Her debut, Emily's new coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I can even tell like the Michael Brandon OG music or the revised or Michelangelo's revised music or OG. But I can tell you one set of dialogue is different.
What does that mean?
The original music with Mike and Jr. But with this one, when Thomas first meets, after Sir Tom says, Thomas, meet Emily, in Michelangelo's, he goes, hello to you. But in Brandon, he says, hello, Emily. Hello, Thomas.
Yeah, Emily, for some reason, it sounded like that they already know each other or something.
Like in the Brandon, like even if it's OG music, the original music or the revised music, because this was like in PBS Kids airings when they aired this on television.
Yeah. And I think, yeah. So Emily's new coach is probably a good way to start season 7.
Yeah, and to introduce us to a cool character. At least Emily is being in perfect character. She feels unwelcome because the other engines are not pleased that she took Annie Clarabelle from Thomas. Yeah. But Emily doesn't act rude back in return. At least this is the good Emily season where she acts nice and friendly to someone else.
Yeah. And another thing is that what else could I say? I can't remember what I was going to say. So this, I believe, this one I believe was like produced in like one of the 4 episodes to be narrated by Michelangelo's, but for the US, which is for Thomas.
Yeah, on the new Friends for Thomas TV, which I do have, but the Michael Brandon version on Engine Friends for some reason has the revised music instead of the original music.
Yeah,
even for some reason they used the theme song from season 8 for the Emily's New Coaches episode, even though they could just use the classic series season 7 version.
Yeah, that could have worked a lot better. Just so then we'll at least be satisfied.
But yeah, and like I think Emily's they'll start off Emily's.
Yeah.
Best
and by the way,
yeah.
One question, by the way, if season 7 did use Brandon's narration with the OG music, then which season would you say would be more weaker?
Then I would say I could say season 6 was more weaker, but because Michael Brandon re-narrates the episodes and they put the revised music, I'm gonna have to say I still think season 7 is still weak.
Yeah.
But Emily's New Coaches is the only one we have Emily's debut, yeah.
So next up,
so we go from only season 7 to 21 because Emily is
to Emily's New Route.
Yes, Emily's New Route
is pretty decent. I mean, I mean, at
At
least
least
Emily is in character.
like she's nervous that she has to take over the Blacklock run. Like also like I like when the Troublesome Truck sing Emily the Late Engine, Emily the Late Engine. From Brandon it goes Emily the Late Engine, Emily the Late Engine. They
And
sang.
what about the first time they said it? Like, I can do one. Off we go, off we go. Mustn't be late, mustn't be late. I remember that one. I definitely did remember watching it on Track Stars.
Oh, that's probably that's Brandon the one where he goes, off we go, off we go. They mustn't be late, mustn't be late. They giggle.
Yeah.
Like when they saying, oh no, they cried, and
they
they splashed into the duck pond.
Yeah, and it was, and beginning with season 8, for some reason, all the crashes are played in slow motion.
But instead of like going fast paced like the classic series,
Mm-hmm. Well, with some exceptions, there are some crashes in like season 6 or 5 that are played in slow motion.
well, I know I think for Percy's Chocolate Crunch, does it play kind of slow? Because like when Percy goes through the chocolate factory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Emily's New Route is one of the good season 8 episodes where Emily's the spotlight, but she doesn't act like a meanie to someone else.
And then we got As Good as Gordon, another episode from the Track Stars release. Definitely remember watching that one.
That one people don't even like because Emily's being way too rude to other engines. But at least Edward felt so sad when Emily told her to hurry up. Like,
yeah,
and
Emily the Top Hat scolds Emily. She was like, "You should have waited," says Sir Topham Hatt sternly, "and now you have caused confusion and delay. You left the brake coach, stranded Bertie's passengers, and bumped your coaches. You must learn to be more patient."
And he says, "I'm sorry, sir," she said. And he says, "Now I need an engine to take the slow goods train." Emily had an idea. "May I take it, sir, if I promise to go slowly?" And it says, "The slow goods train needs lots of patience." And like this one, James has to go back to collect the express, and then and like Emily tries to pull the slow goods train, then she tries to learn to be patient this time and stop at the right stations.
Yeah.
At least this one's not a 3 strikes you're out crap episode. This one, at least it tries to go with the flow because at least it tries to romp the running time. But I know Emily was being rude, but all of a sudden she tries to improve her character better. Yeah, Emily's Adventure is another bad example where she can't even speak up really well. Just ask.
Yeah.
Can you help?
Emily's Adventure, to be honest, I did remember watching that, and I thought it was the worst episode, to be honest.
Like one of the worst from the 7 on its Great Speed Engine DVD.
Yeah, I definitely did remember watching it, and I thought it was terrible. But the one thing I do like is Elizabeth having her role. Like she's
this is the first instance where Emily's rude to her, but like all of a sudden, yeah, another instance where she has Henry's whistle, Emily.
Hurry up!
And it's just, and Elizabeth says, "Not if you ask like that," sniffed Elizabeth crossly.
"I have an important job to do."
It says, "I have an urgent delivery." Huh. "I've got an urgent delivery." Huh. Well, whatever. So anyway, yeah. As Thomas calls out, "Hello," Thomas tooted. And Emily says, "She won't do a thing I tell her."
"That's because you're being a bossy boiler," laughed Thomas. "You should try asking nicely for a change."
And then Emily tries to apologize and says she's sorry for being rude. She apologizes for being rude and she says, "I'm sorry I was rude, but can you help me get this timber to Farmer McCall's? Please? It's to help the baby calves." But at least Elizabeth was now offered to help this time. But yeah, like we got 3 episodes with Emily being the spotlight now. Unlike with Percy, we only got 2. Or 3. Well, actually, we got 3 with Percy and Emily.
Yeah.
So Percy and Emily almost got there sometime, and James got I think 2. I think James got 2 in season 8. I think.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So I think Percy and Emily are closer to Thomas, in my opinion. So I think he and Gordon got 2 spotlights. But yeah, let's go on to season 9. Let's see which one Emily's the spotlight in season 9.
Emily Knows Best is one of them, I think.
Yeah.
But let me check real quick before.
If there's any ones before that, just tell me, and then we can start with that episode then. And then we'll go to Emily Knows Best.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Nope, I don't think there is. So Emily
Okay.
Knows Best will.
Okay. Well, while you were checking, I was going to tell you something cool. I tried to play my video now June. Well, I told you it before, so we don't need to explain it again. But yeah, Emily Knows Best. A lot of people hate that episode. Savick Wiggle also hates that episode because of Emily being stupid in that episode.
However, the one thing I do, to be honest, I think this one is okay in my opinion because Toby is in character here, at least.
Because he tries to be wise, even with that weird crossface that's even creepier than his one from season 5, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But between those two ones with Toby's face crossed like that, very crossface, like really more crosser face, which one do you think is more creepier? The one in season 9 or season 5 from Horrid Lori?
Probably both or something.
Like, it also happens in Toss the Statue when he and Emily and Percy are next to Gordon Cross in Toss the Statue, which is a couple episodes before this episode. But at least, like, this one, like, Percy wants to be a part of Emily's game, but Toby still thinks it's still a silly idea. But, like, this one, it has the best crash it played in normal speed. Like, you know how the effects does this and, like, something flies in the air and a big crash occurs? After
yeah. God, man, the crash was awesome.
Yeah, and also, like, Sir Tomat still gets crossing, Emily, you have caused confusion and delay. Luckily, Toby knew what to do, he added sternly. I'm sorry. Knowing the right thing isn't as easy as I thought. In future, I'll leave that job to a king, or a queen, or to Toby. Yeah, Brandon's chuckle of the episode was great.
Yeah. And let me see. I don't think there's any other season 9 episodes.
But yeah, I think, which one do you like better for this episode, Brandon or Angelus for Emily Knows Best?
To be honest, I think when it comes to I think I prefer Angelus because I mean his narration sounds too annoying, unlike in season 8. I mean, his narration in season 8 was smooth in that one, but man,
Like,
his narration gets way
Are you saying Brandon is more worse, or is it Angelus?
I'm talking about Brandon's narration from like.
Oh, okay. You say, like, starting with season 9, it starts to get way more annoying.
Yeah, season 8 he sounds a little smooth in that one, but
yeah, let's get to. Oh yeah, we got to do Emily and the Special Coaches or Cars in the U.S. Well, you just leave it as coaches because they look like coaches, even though Michael Brandon calls them cars for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because you know how, like, in Sir Handel, a bounty for Sir Handel calls the coaches cattle cars, and that makes the coaches cross. Even though kids don't really care that it's called this in the U.S. Like Gordon, well, I'll tell you about that in a second. But also, like, Brandon
the UK version it could be called Emily and the Special Carriages? Because sometimes in the UK version, Angela says carriages.
Actually, in Toss the Golden Eagle, when Emily passes Toss and Percy, they say her cars were full of happy bird watches. They reference that Emily's coaches were passenger cars. Because I guess, like, Emily's coaches, like I mentioned before, they're like the old coaches from season 1.
Are we talking about the ones from James and the Mess, for example?
Yes, and Henry Special Cole and also Tenders and Turntables and Trouble in the Shed.
Yeah. And what about the coaches that James pulls? You know, the coaches that James usually pulls, and James and the coaches, James learns a lesson. They look similar to Annie and Clarabelle.
But yeah, I think if I did a remake of James Learns a Lesson, I would have to use all those coaches, but just have to repaint them orange, just to make sure, like, because at least George Carlin and Ringo Starr doesn't realize that James is pulling Annie Clarabelle in those line of orange coaches.
Yeah. Beginning of season 2, we get red ranch line coaches.
Yes, then they appear from the rest of the series. But yeah,
let's get to thanks for reminding me. I forgot to tell you something.
What was it?
So, if I wanted to ask you this, would it make sense for a big tender engine like Gordon to pull branch line coaches?
Well, why would that be possible? Because you know how in the episode Samson at Your Service from season 18, he had to pull Annie Clarabelle because Samson took the express?
Uh-huh.
Even though they could have just let his driver realize which ones were the right loads, because the drivers were being so. That's another thing I have a problem with the CGI era. The drivers don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, and another thing as well is that for some reason in Toad's Adventure, Thomas is seen pulling express coaches. I mean, okay, if Annie and Claire are in like repairment or something, why not have Thomas pull branch line coaches or something instead?
Well, I guess that's true because some people in their Toad's Adventure remake they used Annie Clarabelle instead of the express coaches, but that they don't even speak. Like pretend
Yeah.
I put Annie Clarabelle behind Thomas, but they don't even speak. But Sir Tom had and Dowager Hat's funny singing "Be My Moo" and says,
Yeah. But I think it would
"Yeah,
make sense for big tender engines like Henry and Gord to pull express coaches. For James, it's optional, like because both James and Edward are mixed traffic engines. They can either pull branch line coaches or express coaches. I think it would make sense, right?
yeah," because they're both medium-sized tender engines. Yes. But yeah, let's get back
And
to Emily. Oh,
huh?
oh yeah. Whoa, say your thing.
And one more thing as well, tank engines like Thomas and Percy, they should fully pull branch line coaches, not express coaches.
Yeah, I don't know why in the episode they made Thomas pull 2 express coaches, even though in Express coming through he struggled to pull all 5 of those coaches, even though in A Big Day for Thomas he was able to pull 4 of them, no problem. But in Dowager Hat's Busy Day, Percy struggled really hard when there were 6 coaches behind him. Because Dowager Hat was messing up really badly, giving the engines the wrong jobs, and he made Percy pull the express, and she made Percy pull the express.
Yeah, not to mention that they made a reference to Up, Up, and Away.
God, seriously, they put a big balloon on a flathead referencing to Up, Up, and Away in the 3rd episode of the last season of the Andrew Brenner era.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways,
now let's get Emily Special Cars now from season 10.
sorry.
Even though, yeah, it's
Sorry.
fine.
Anyway,
And of course,
so
yes, another one where this is the last time we'll get to see Diesel's original angry face in model form. Because I think in the rest of the models, the full model seasons, he just has the kind of annoyed face, his grumpy face, kind of.
yeah,
And like this one, I think I'm gonna have to say between Brandon or Angelus, I think this one where Emily starts to chase Diesel. Like Michael Brandon says, "Why have you taken Gordon's car?" She snaps sharply. "Because," Diesel, "I haven't got time to listen to you. Give me those cars." "Not if you won't listen," moaned Diesel. But for Angelus, he goes, "Why have you taken Gordon's coaches?" She snapped sharply. Because, Diesel. "I haven't got time to listen to you," huffed Emily. "Give me those coaches. Give me those coaches." "Not if you won't listen. Not if you won't listen," moaned Diesel. And also when Sir Tom Matt scolds Diesel, he says, "Diesel," said Sir Tom sternly, "where are Gordon's special cars?" "They're in a siding, sir," said Diesel quietly. "Take Emily there at once," ordered Sir Tom Matt crossly. "Yes, sir," moaned Diesel. And the last scene where we get to see Diesel's original angry face for the last time, and when he explains out, "Then you should have listened to me." "Why should I listen to a smelly old Diesel?" said Emily crossly. "Because Gordon's not the only one who set a record. I set one too." Okay, but then of course, when Gordon says, "Don't my passenger cars look grand?" But then Emily brings something cool for Diesel, and now she makes Diesel feel special, and now Gordon and Diesel are both special now. Yeah, I remember watching. I think I watched this one on TV, Emily and the Special Cars.
yeah,
I think it was alongside Toss the Colors. So yes, it was alongside Toss the Colors. Yeah, Toss the Colors is on DVD, a hit favorite CD, but this episode is not on DVD or VHS. Well, Technically just DVD because VHS was killed in 2006 and 2007.
Yeah. But I never watched that episode, definitely.
It's worth a
Never.
try. I mean, it's funny to see like Emily's chasing Diesel around the island for so many hours and she just can't catch him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Emily in the
Despite
Garbage.
never watching that episode before, definitely never.
Yeah, and Emily in the Garbage, which is also on the hit favorites Being a Friend, and on the actual release Engine Friends. You know that scene when Emily puffs into the shunting yard is used at the very end of the portion. Also at the end of the portion of the song "Where Oh Where Is Thomas" from The Great Discovery. When there's Whiff right there.
Oh yeah.
Like also, yes, this is. I'm gonna say this since I'm pleased about this episode. Gordon, James, and Henry are laughing at each other, and they see Emily with Whiff, and they start to laugh, and they properly introduce themselves to him, and they laugh, saying, "Who's your smelly new friend with the funny whistle, Emily?" joked James. "We smelt you coming from miles," wheezed Gordon. "My name's Whiff," whistled Whiff. "It suits you," laughed Henry. Whew. And it says, "Phew." And also, like and also the funny line when Emily tries to ask Gordon or James for help. Also, like with Brandon, first, like, "Can you help me move these garbage wagons?" tooted Emily. "Me?" said Gordon. "Oh, certainly not." And of course, like when she says, "Can you help me move these garbage wagons, James?" heaved Emily. "Oh, no, thank you."
Okay. There's
But
one
with
slight
Angela's,
problem I have.
but with Angela's, what's wrong?
The one problem I have with Emily in the Garbage is that Emily is a tender engine. Like she can pull the cars, I'm sure.
Like, I don't know why they make her struggle to pull the cars out of the siding, when even though bigger engines can literally just hold them out of the way. I don't know, maybe the brakes were set on, I don't know. Maybe the
I
people
can understand maybe I can understand tank engines like Thomas and Percy, but this one I don't understand.
Because I guess the people at Shepperton Studios forgot to leave the brakes set off, and Emily could just pull the cars easily out of the way. And like also I could do the Angelus version when Emily asks Gordon or James.
Is that the reason why maybe the brakes were on?
Maybe the trucks weren't set right, and people at the Shepperton Studios were trying to put them right on the track. Even though
Maybe
you can't
that would make sense.
But also, like, I'll do this again with Angelus doing, "Can you help me move these rubbish trucks?" Huh? Me? Certainly not. "Can you help me move these rubbish trucks, James?" peeped Emily. "Ugh! No, thank you!" And, like, this is another instance where Spencer's still in his annoyed... What would you call Spencer's face when he's really cross, even though he has his mouth open? It's kind of like Henry's
I would say his very annoyed face.
Kind of like Henry's disgusted face up to season 12, yes. But of course, like when he does his surprise face, "Freeze my firebox," screams Spencer. "That dirty little engine can't move all those garbage wagons. We're going to move them together." And then Spencer's pleased. Finally, he has his happy face again. He says, "Whiff is a very, very useful engine." Yeah. Yeah, this one, Excellent Emily, season 12.
Believe it or not, Excellent Emily, I don't know how to say this episode is mediocre.
But this one, it's a cool one. Emily got to interact with Duck for the first time.
Not
at
to
least
mention,
for the moment. All the fans reacted when they saw this scene with Emily next to Duck. They all reacted saying, "That's cool. That was so cool." Despite Duck was not going to be the 8th member of the Steam Team, but Emily is. And like, also, like, this is Murdoch's second to last appearance, but this is the final time he'll get to speak.
Yeah.
And like this one before Saved You, they just show Harvey's just fully modeled face. There was never an instance where this season where they used Harvey's CGI animation mask in season 12, except for some deleted rare pictures in the storybook, Thomas's Mix-Up Day and Thomas Puts the Brakes On book.
I think Salty also has a CGI face in this one too, right?
Yes, and Henry gets it wrong, but this one about Emily, we only get to see Harvey's original model face mask.
Yeah.
Because
Anyways, so
so yes, excellent. And also when Murdoch tells to Emily to try to take a different route to the airport, it says, Murdoch, which tracks would you take to the airport? The tracks on Gordon's Hill are still being cleaned. You should take the Valley route instead. Thank you, Murdoch.
I do like Angelus's Emily impression, to be honest.
In season 12?
Any season.
Okay. But yeah, this one, we get to finally see Murdoch speak for the last time, but it's his second to last appearance. Unlike Toss the Brakes on, that was his final appearance, but he was not speaking. But yes, excellent Emily, we will include on the list. And yeah, let's get to season 13 now, where Julie's someone is the voice of Emily now. We'll begin with Hero of the Rails. It's always been, yeah, the one who always voiced Emily from Hero of the Rails onwards in the US.
Yeah. Well, at the end of Wobble, okay?
Well, yes, even though we're just doing from seasons 1 through 21, because I like those seasons the best.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think we only got...
Mess is one of them, but let me check other.
Let me see, because I'm pretty sure Creaky Cranky and the line of Soda Thomas is the spotlight. Oh, and of course, Double Trouble and Slippy Soda. But I'm just gonna see, because a lot of these have Thomas taking up the spotlight kind of too much.
I think A Blooming Mess.
And like Emily thinks Mavis is sad, but then Mavis explained out to Emily that she wasn't sad, but because she was too busy thinking about all the jobs she was going to have. That's why she was just sitting on the bridge doing nothing, Mavis. And Emily thought she was feeling sad, but she wasn't. Yes, I have this on the DVD, Thomas in Charge, A Blooming Mess. Because, well, of course, like, Emily should have asked Mavis what was wrong. She could have just switched positions and put the filmmakers could have just put her on top of the bridge to ask what was wrong, but I guess they didn't have enough time.
I wonder how they filmed CGI or something.
Fully CGI episodes, because they don't use models anymore, because they don't want people's hands being in the way.
I wonder how they did that. Maybe models I can get, but I don't know how they did CGI.
But yeah, Pingy Pongy Pickup is another episode that people hate, but this episode is referenced in Emily Saves the World, which will be for much later, but we're doing episodes in order. This episode, Pingy Pongy Pickup, will get referenced in Emily Saves the World, which is going to be much, much later. This one, Emily doesn't want to take the stinky washing to the laundry lady, but then realized that was the soccer team's clothing. And without them, they wouldn't be able to get the game started. But then an idea when she finally took the laundry to the lady to wash the clothes, she said she raised like the wind to the town square, and it got them dry just in time. Unlike when James did that stupid idea thing and all in vain, and then he didn't have time to get his paint dry, he did mess up. But this one, Emily did perfectly fine. But yeah, on Emily and Dash, since we're doing the Steam Team members' best of fan-made releases, actually, I will tell you there's some episodes where Duck is the main role. The Pop Goes the Diesel trilogy, if we do Pop Best of Duck one of these days. Along with Duck Takes Charge and the Pop Goes the Diesel trilogy. Those are more episodes where Duck is the spotlight.
Yeah.
I'm just coming up with more episode ideas, because when we finish Best of Emily, we'll have to do Duck, then Donald and Douglas and Oliver.
Yeah, I guess maybe we can try.
Well, yeah, let's get to Emily and Dash, where this one, at least Trevor came back, but he doesn't speak until Three Steam Engines Gruff, which we mentioned that episode before. But this one, Emily wants to make tweet noises from her whistle, and like...
Wait, what you said?
About Emily and Dash, Trevor comes back in this episode, but he doesn't speak until Three Steam Engines Gruff. He makes a cameo...
Oh, yeah. Trevor. I thought we were talking about Bash or something.
No. Yeah. No, I'm talking about Trevor makes a comeback in this episode, but he does not speak until Three Steam Engines Gruff. Yeah. He makes a cameo in this episode.
I think he did appear in the Island of Sodor intro, actually.
Yes, at the last scene of the Island of Sodor introduction from 13 through 18, basically, because I think he's in the season 11 and 12 version. I'm pretty sure. But, of course, yeah. Emily and Dash, where Emily wants to make tweeting whistles, but then she doesn't know how, and she wants Dash to help out. But then all of a sudden, when she helped out, her whistle made tweeting noises. But yeah, now let's move on. I think, unfortunately, there's one episode of season 16 where Emily's the spotlight, but unfortunately, it's a winter holiday episode. So I think we're gonna have to skip to season 17 and 18.
Yeah, hold on. Let me review the episode of Emily and Dash real quick.
Oh,
So I'm pretty sure there was one scene where Emily was trying to be like Dash, but then when Hero found out, he rushed immediately.
oh yeah, I did it before. I was like, Emily, your face is so strange. I must tell Sir Topham Hatt. Don't do that, Hero. Pump your pistons, Dash. Pump as fast as you can to the steam fair. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no regular episode of season 16 where Emily's the spotlight. Even though there's one where she's the spotlight, but it's a winter holiday episode, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
we're not
gonna
gonna
have.
do that. Let me
So
move
we're gonna
on
have.
to season 17.
Because unfortunately, there's no ones with regular ones with Emily being the spotlight, or in 16 or 17. I guess we're gonna have to go straight to 18's Emily saves the world or something.
Yeah. What about Flatbeds of Fear?
No, unfortunately, that doesn't count because it switches. Thinks Thomas think what's making the strange sound, then goes to Henry, and then it goes to Emily.
Okay, I guess we'll do Emily Saves the World.
Yeah, this one. These are the episodes they referenced in this episode. These are the past episodes in like some from the model series, but some from this one from the CGI series. In chronological order, they go. I think I can do the best I can because when Emily talks to Gordon, the passengers he references to Emily, opera singer, inspectors, even the Queen. I'll say them in order. Thomas meets the Queen. Thomas from season 4. Thomas the Jet Engine from season 6. The Runaway Elephant from season 7. Percy and the Magic Carpet from season 8.
Which was
Reneus and the
10
Dinosaur.
seasons ago from that.
You mean? Oh yeah, you're saying 10 seasons from season 8. Percy and the Magic Carpet.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and then Reneus and the Dinosaur from season 9. And then I think for the inspectors, it's Thomas in Charge. Actually, there's 2 episodes from the CGI series where it's mentioned. So yeah, after that, yeah, it goes Reneus and the Dinosaur from season 9. I'm pretty sure it goes There's 2 episodes for season 14. It goes Pingy Pongy Pickup, then Thomas in Charge, because Gordon pulled the railway inspector and Thomas in Charge.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I do like about the episode is the, reference.
A lot of references from the past.
Yeah.
Also when Thomas tells to Emily about he had to pull the jet engine, he raced around the soda very fast at supersonic speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But yeah, Emily Saves the World, like, what if they did use the recreations of their flashbacks for the other portions, but they do them in their traditional ones? Kind of like the flashbacks in Blue Mountain Mystery they redone in CGI because, they didn't have enough money to reference the model scenes of those ones. Like, A Scar for Percy, Come Out Henry, and Down the Mine and Blue Mountain Mystery were done in CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been cool if they did their model versions because, well, you know what I mean. But yeah, for Emily Saves the World, they did go. Oh, but yeah. Oh,
Best
yeah,
ending ever, I've forgotten.
Well, it's one of the episodes with the Philip ones, but at this one having Emily being the spotlight because,
Wait, Philip? Philip didn't appear.
Well, no, it's part of the Philip 6 episodes with Philip, but Philip's not in there.
Don't you mean to say one of the episodes on the Start Your Engines release?
Yes, this one's the second to last, even though on the Wikipedia it goes after Reds versus Blues. But in this one, it goes the one to have Emily the spotlight. Like this one, Emily's been in the series for it's starting with King of the Railway that marked Emily's 10-year appearance in the series. Just like with Spencer, that marked him being in the series for 10 years with King of the Railway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, best engine ever, where this time Emily helped Caitlin when her brakes would fail terribly. Sorry. By the way, yeah. But yeah, best engine ever, yes, we'll include on the list.
Don't think any of the season 20 episodes have.
Hmm. I think what I'm going to say this. Do you think we should include Emily in the middle despite it's winter, but it's not a Christmas episode?
Oh yeah, Emily in the Middle. I forgot.
Yeah, where Emily yells out so hard at the twins. What if her? I'm not saying Emily could have gotten. Well, she could have gotten a sputter. She could have gotten so much. She could have burst into flames and could have gotten scrapped for sure because of her yelling, her actress yelling out the lines. Like I said, I don't hate the actress who voiced Emily in real life. I think she's a nice lady.
Yeah, and
I
I think she got hit by a snowball, like that was caused by Donald Douglas, right?
because one of their coal fell into the snow and it rolled down the hill and it turned into a snowball and it hit Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all the episodes where Emily's the spotlight. Because I think, like I said, you say yes. There's no season episodes of season 17 or 20 where Emily's the main
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah.
I think up to that, I think that's only 14. Unfortunately, that's too bad for Emily.
Yeah. And should we move on to Best of Duck?
But I think we could try to, because I think there's another episodes. There's some more episodes where Duck is the spotlight, because
Well, mostly in the classic series, at least.
because I know in Edward the Really Splendid he was not the spotlight, but Edward was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, we'll start with Duck takes charge. Yes.
Yep.
This one I gotta tell you with the funny quote with George Carlin and Ringo Starr doing the quacking of a duck.
Yeah.
I can do the Ringo Starr one if you know both UK and US versions. They're the same.
Yeah.
Wee, wee, smoke billowed everywhere, and George Carlin goes quack, 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 wee.
Yeah.
And he goes wee.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then we move on to Pop Goes the Diesel,
The Duck and Diesel
which-
trilogy with Pop Goes the Diesel.
which I can do my Diesel impression. Yo, worthy. Did you know there's a difference between the UK and US narration of Ringo Stars?
And I think in the UK when he goes, "You're worthy fat," and then he says, "Sir Tom Hat to you."
Yeah, surprisingly, Ringo says Sir Topham Hatt.
Even though this is the UK version, he says, "You're worthy fat."
Yeah, he says, yo, but in the US, he says, yo, worthy top.
Sir Topham Hat to you, order Duck. Diesel looked hurt.
Let me do my impression. Your worthy Sir Topham Hatt says I need to learn. He is mistaken. We Diesels don't need to learn. We know everything. We come to a yard and we improve it. We are revolutionary.
And the UK when he goes, "Oh," said Duck, "if you're rather thingamy, perhaps you would collect my trucks while I fetch Gordon's coaches."
Wait.
The US when he goes, "Oh," said Duck, "if you're rather thingamy, perhaps you would collect my cars while I fetch coaches." But it's also in the George Carlin version, so it's the same thing. But yeah, and Diesel's devious Steve.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. About what you said in the UK version?
He just in the Ringo Starr UK version, he says, "If you're rather thingamy, perhaps you would collect my trucks while I fetch Gordon coaches." But in the Ringo Starr US version and George Carlin version, he says, "Perhaps you would collect my cars while I fetch Gordon's coaches."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Diesel's Devious Deed, or aka Dirty Work in the UK.
Hold on a second. Let me play that episode real quick.
Okay, I think it's getting close to 10 o'clock, so I think we'll just wrap it up with the Duck and Diesel trilogy. Oh.
So apparently in the UK version, Ringo Starr says Reva Thingagummy.
Okay, but in George Carlin US and the Ringo Starr US version, it goes, "If you're rather thingamy, I think if you're Rev a thingy, I think he almost said like saying Reverend W. Audrey in a way. He
Yeah.
almost like said like the Reverend W. Audrey's full name.
Yeah.
But yeah. And also like this, the Ringo Starr UK and US do the same Diesel growl.
Yeah, except he says trucks. Like, for example, the episode Saved from Scrap? Like
Yeah.
at the start? Like when you're listening to the Ringo UK and US narration, there is already a difference at the beginning.
Yes, yes.
You know that?
But in Pop Goes the Diesel, it goes after the scene transitions to Duck pushing the trucks into place. Well, in the UK version, he says that the trucks and coaches behaved well, but in Ringo Starr US and George Carlin version, they say the cars and coaches behaved well.
Yeah.
But yes, Pop Goes the Diesel. I think Trevor Davis says he's not a big fan of George Carlin's Diesel growl, but he likes the Ringo one a bit better, even though he says George Carlin is his all-time favorite Thomas narrator.
Yeah, but I still like it though. I mean, but I think Ringo's growling sound is way more scary.
Yeah, both in US and UK, but in the George Carlin, he goes, "Arr!" Like he just does a minor. He doesn't try to sound growl too hard, George Carlin, because he was getting old at the time, George Carlin, so that's why he just decided to do it.
Yeah,
Actually,
not
there's
to
this season.
mention, I'm pretty sure it would be scary for little children, for little kids.
Yeah, but for George Carlin, at least they did it a little bit less scary.
Yeah, so I think I can understand why they did that.
But yeah, Diesel's Devious Deed is next after Pop Goes the Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
So many differences in that version, but yes, I know when the Three Big Engines told Sir Tom had Duck called them these names.
Duck called me a galloping sausage.
And I'll do the George Carlin one, but I'll say, Rusty Red Scrap Iron, hissed James. I'm old Square Wheels, fumed Henry. Well, Duck considered. I only wish, sir, he said gravely, that I thought of those names myself. If the dome fits. But yeah. And also, like, which one of these have Ringo Starr, the UK Dirty Work version, or the Diesel's Devious Deed Ringo Starr version, US American one, and George Carlin one when he tries to clear his throat? I think Ringo Starr, the US one, is kind of the second best with George Carlin, in my opinion. He goes, on the DVD, The Greatest Stories, the restored version.
Yeah, I don't know which one's the best, but to be honest,
but
I think Ringo Starr's US narration is the best.
But did you know that there's an error on the Thomas's Big Storybook of Diesel's Devious Deed? Like, one example is like Duck has the tear, but the sentence says, "Stop fooling," said Duck, "I'm tired." He's not supposed to have the tear underneath his eye until he says, "As you wish, sir." Wish, sir. But this one, for some reason, they put the picture of him having the tear, crying with a tear coming down his eye. But the line is saying, "Stop fooling, Sadak, I'm tired." That doesn't make any sense. Like, I should spot the goofs in Thomas's Big Storybook one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get to a close shave for Duck, which I know another one where I have to do differences between, well, in the UK it's called a close shave, but in the US it's called a close shave for Duck. But yeah, and like also like this one, Sir Tom tells Duck he never believed Diesel, so he sent him packing.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
This is another episode where Thomas is mentioned, but he does not speak.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's already a difference.
Like, just one of them saying trucks or freight cars.
Yeah.
And saying the Fat Controller and Sir Tom hat. But I think one of my favorite scenes is like when the Sir Tom explains to the barber it was a very close shave. In the UK Ringo Starr and US versions, they're the same. Except they just say the word different. But
and another thing as well. Huh?
About like when Ringo Starr, George Carlin's about to slam out "It's Too Late," Whale Duck. I think Ringo Starr goes kind of good, but George Carlin upbeat it more. Like Ringo Starr says, "It's too late," groaned Duck, and shut his eyes. But George Carlin goes, "It's too late," groaned Duck. He veered into a siding where a barber had set up shop. He was shaving a customer.
And another thing as well is that You know the difference between the Ringo and US and UK version, like
Yeah,
when the trucks chase Duck or something. Yeah, I
yeah. Like
think
I
the
say,
Ringo Starr US narration sounds a lot more energetic. Like for example, in the US version, he's like, "They raced through Edward Station, but the cars were catching up." I think that's a lot more energetic, in my opinion.
yeah, than the UK version, in my opinion.
Huh?
Yeah, the same thing as the Well, the Ringo Starr UK version in a way. It's more upbeat than the Ringo Starr UK version because, well, the George Carlin one I can say it's kind of in the middle too. Because like this one, when they race through Edward Station, says, "Hurry, Duck, hurry," said the driver. They raced through Edward Station, but the cars were catching up. Semi okay with George Carlin, but Ringo Starr when they raced through Edward Station is the US version is the best.
Yeah, because it sounds a lot more energetic, in my opinion. I'll admit.
But yeah, I think we found some season three. Yeah, I think the rest of season two Duck's not the spotlight anymore.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, let's just move on to season three. I actually do know there's a season three episode where Duck is the spotlight.
Oh yeah.
Would you include Donald's Duck the episode?
I
Not to
think you
confuse,
should because Duck is focused on that one.
even though it has a few scenes with Donald, but at least it focuses on Duck more in the episode.
Yeah.
Like Michelangelo's or Duck are quacking Donald doing the quacking impression for Duck, but George Carlin goes quack quack quack. What? You heard? Quack quack you go. Sounds like you'd an egg lay. Now wheesh and let an engine sleep. Quack yourself, said Duck indignantly. And then Michelangelo goes quack quack quack.
What about the early narration?
Quack, quack, quack. What? What? You heard? Quack, 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 quack you go. Sounds like you did an egg leg. I'm like I said, I'm not good at the early Michelangelo's impression, but the revised versions I'm somewhat good at. But yeah, I think there's okay, yeah. We skipped to All at Sea as well, because that's another one where Duck is the focus. So we're coming up with more episodes where Duck is the spotlight now. I think we're keeping on track now. We're at All at Sea, where this one I can tell from Angelus and Carlin. This one, I think this one, like when Percy
I did
speaks
also
severely.
notice something, by the way.
Mhm.
In the UK narration, like for the rest of season 3, from like James Goes Buzz Buzz all the way to Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure,
Or Christmas Adventure in the UK.
for
Yeah,
some
it's
reason, you can hear Michelangelo's microphone audio for some reason.
oh my god. But this one in All at Sea, that's the second one to have him. It's just his normal narration, but like when Percy speaks severely to Duck, it says, "Well, Carlin," he goes, "Well, Duck, I'd rather have my wheels on solid ground. Our rails can take us to all the places we could ever wish to see." And then Angelus like he goes, "Well, Duck, I'd rather have my wheels on solid ground. Our rails can take us to all the places we could ever wish to
Oh,
see."
what about Bulgy?
Oh yeah, we gotta include Bulgy. Yes,
I
because
almost
Duck is
forgot about that.
yes. This one they have to change in the Sprout airing from stupid to silly, but for some reason the Bully for Mr. Conductor version they kept it as the original where they some reason say the word stupid. Even though it's a PBS, Strong Temptation is on PBS alone. Like this was before PBS turned to PBS Kids in 1999, and Strong Temptation was the only show to see Thomas on TV in the United States. They used the original version of Bulgy, but they say stupid nonsense. He grumbled. But this one, in the Sprout airing, they have to say silly nonsense.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like
Bulgy's Yahoo Snugs is really energetic as much as Carlin's. It's just Yahoo Snugs. He jeered as he roared away.
I think I found it like a lot more energetic in my opinion. He's like, "Yeah, boo snobs, Carlin."
His Yahoo Snugs, he jeered as he roared away.
Yeah.
Come on, said. Excuse me.
Oh,
Excuse me. I'll be right back.
oh what? Okay.
Sorry. Well, sorry. Sorry, my mouth was dry. I've been talking so much.
Oh yeah, I get it.
It's okay.
But
Sorry.
yeah,
But yeah, Bulgy, yes, I know it's better than. Well, no, it's on the Shining Station episode, Bully from Mr. Gunshot. We know about the episode.
yeah. I mean, the problem with the classic series, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the best, okay?
Yeah,
But the only problem is that there are some words that are bad. Like, for example, they say the word shut up, even though it was only used in season two, but they stopped using it beginning in season three, at least.
well, at least season 1 they didn't. I don't know, did they say. They didn't say shut up in season 1, right?
I don't think.
No. But season 2, yes, they did, but season 3. Sometimes they would say stupid in season 3, sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did one of the episodes of Oliver's story arc, but Escape and Oliver Owns Up will be for Best of Oliver because this one focuses more on Duck, even though Oliver's the side character.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then we got season 4.
do we have a season 4 episode? No, for
I
some
know,
reason
like,
we
the
had to put.
first half focuses on the narrow gauge engines.
Yes, but we're doing ones with the ones of Duck being the focus. Even though I think he and Stepney are both the main roles in Bold Out, but I don't think that counts because it focuses on the Stepney saga. So I don't think we'll include Bold Out. Because or would it make sense to put Bold Out? Because Duck is the role with Stepney. What do you think? Would Bold Out work or no?
I don't think we should include it.
So no to Bold Out, even though it has Duck in the lead with Stepney?
Yeah, I don't think it'll work.
I think it's more fit for Stepney's thing, but even though we're not going to make a best of Stepney, nah.
Because none of the episodes have Stepney.
There's only 2. Only Train Stops.
Or,
Well, even though Thomas is the lead in Thomas and Stepney, but Train Stops Play and Bold Out are his 2 lead roles. And the only role he had in season 5 was Stepney Gets Lost.
mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, we can't do a best of Stepney, even though he will appear in season 6 sometimes, and the stock footage in season 7, and the last time we saw him was Rosie's Carnival special in season 12. So yes, we're skipping to season. Let's see if there's season 5 with Duck.
You do know season 4 is the last season to have Duck as the main character, right?
Oh yes, because in 5 through 7 he's kind of like the side character in a way. So I think yes, we'll not include the season 4 version of Fish either.
Yeah. So the problem is that when I want to do best of Duck, but the thing is that Duck hardly had any role.
But I think the Scottish Twins we could just replace that. We could just replace Duck with them.
Best of Duck?
Well, we could just replace it, call it Best of Donald and Douglas.
Well, we'll still do best of Duck anyways, okay?
So I think that's only. Yeah, I think starting with season. Because like I said, the Thomas Way Duck is kind of the main character, but it's only got Thomas's name in the title, so we don't include that either. Because it's not. I don't think it's fair to reuse stories we've already used before because like on those UK releases, Best of Thomas, Percy, and James, they some reason use episodes from Best of Thomas that we've already seen. Like one
Duck and
example
the
in the Best.
Coaches, I guess.
Yes, I guess we could do Duck the Slip Coaches, even though it has James having to deal with the Slip Coaches.
Yeah.
And I don't think Blown Away from season 20. I think this is only 8 episodes we have with Duck as the lead in Best of Duck because it's kind of equivalent of Thomas and the US Best of Thomas and James we have. They put 8 favorite stories that they chose.
Yeah, and I don't think Duck had a role in any of the season 21 episodes.
Well, in season 20, he appeared in the episode Ryan and Daisy, when he didn't notice Ryan was coming towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he and Oliver almost bumped into each other in Spencer's VIP when they were screwing up and making silly mistakes. And then he says, there are two ways of doing things. Great Western Way and
The wrong way. I
I-
know, and you're doing the wrong way.
and you're doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, how hypocritical, if you ask me.
Yeah, and also like in the part when Thomas makes the silliest mistake all, and he takes on Cole at the coal opera, but then he blows his whistle and starts to puff away, and Annie Clarabelle get covered in coal.
Yeah.
Like when Annie Clarabelle explained out, Thomas, what are you doing? Coaches don't need coal. Sorry. So yeah, only season 18 episode we have Duck is the spotlight is Duck and the slip coaches. Even though this one news, Trevor Davis says he feels sorry that Emily didn't get her original spot in Tim That Sheds back. Even though in Mr. Perkins' postcard, Tim That Sheds, they say Duck used to spend the night in Tim That Sheds, but they say that's Emily's place now because Duck has his own place with Oliver on his branch line.
Yeah.
Even though they could have just used that one shed at the like as like a spare shed because well, that's what I know.
Yeah. So we'll do the best of Donald and Douglas.
Yeah, best
Which
of
at least
Donald.
they were one of those characters to have a role.
Yeah, I think up to, like I said, yeah, we're not gonna reuse Emily Saves the World because, like I said, that's not fair to reuse episodes we've already seen before.
What are you talking about? Emily in the World saves the world?
No, I'm talking about when we talk about Emily in the Middle. We're not gonna have to reuse this for them, Donald and Douglas, because that's one it has Emily's name in the title.
So the last episode would be from season 20.
From season 20's Love Me Tender.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
But we'll start with their debut, Donald and Douglas.
Yeah.
R.A.K.
Oh,
Break
yeah.
Band in the UK.
And speaking of which, if you had to do Ringo Starr's US version of Donald and Douglas, how would you redub it?
How about the scene when after Donald crashed into the signal box, after the narrator says, Donald wasn't hurt, but Sir Topham Hatt was most annoyed. I am disappointed, Donald. I didn't expect such...
I thought Sir Topham Hatt's theme in this one was hilarious.
I have decided to send Douglas back and keep... Also, like, this one Ringo Starr could still do the same... Actually, like, this is the part when Percy goes to talk to Sir Topham Hatt. Like, actually, when... This is one that says...
Yes, sir, please, sir.
No,
Hello,
actually,
Percy.
it's like when Edward says we need a depot station.
Of course, said Gordon. But the thing is...
What is a desperation? Asked Henry. It's when engines tell Sir Topham Hatt something's wrong, said Percy. Did you say tell Sir Topham Hatt? Asked Duck thoughtfully. There was a long silence.
I propose, said Gordon, that Percy be our disputation.
Hi! Or what do we say me like in the George Carlin version? Me? Squeaked Percy. I can't.
Wait. What did Ringo Starr say in the UK?
Hi? He said hi instead of me.
Oh, yeah.
On George Carlin, he did say me. So, yes. Me? Squeaked Percy. I can't. But yeah, let's find other episodes where Donald and Douglas are the lead role. Even though I don't think... Would Escape work better for Best of Oliver or Best of Donald and Douglas? Because, Douglas is the only Scottish twin.
I think it can work for Escape. I think it can work.
Even though I think it focuses more on Douglas in the episode.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another instance where Michelangelo or Carlin, like George Carlin's narration of Escape is awesome. Like one instance, like when
I would include Donald's Duck, but that's used for Best of Duck.
So I think Escape will work for just one of them because Douglas is the only twin in the episode.
Yeah. I don't think Donald and Douglas, I don't think they got any role. Well, they had minor roles, but other than that, I don't think they had any role in season 4 nor season 5. So we move on to season 6.
Yes, which has the awful Alec Baldwin impression of them.
Yeah.
And
I recommend watching the UK version because I think it sounds a lot better.
because their Scottish accents are there. Yes, and Bad Day Castle Lock will also include, because they at least Michael Brandon does their Scottish accents really well compared to Carlin's, which is, well, can I say George and Brandon are the best Scottish accents for Donald and Douglas. This one they say, "Scared the monster might get ya," teased Douglas. "He might," said Donald. "There's no monster. There is two. There is not. Is two."
Can you give me a second?
Hmm?
Can you
Okay.
give me a second?
Hello? Essie? You there? Doing?
What?
Essie, can we end off the stream now? My brother texted me. He's coming home right now.
Oh,
Mind
he
if I
is.
go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
mind
gonna
if I
end the
go in the?
stream anyways. See
Well,
ya.
can I go in the? Yeah, see ya.
See ya. Well, sorry guys, I had to end the stream there, but don't worry. I'll have another stream coming up tomorrow, so I'll see you guys later. This is me over and out. Sorry I didn't